I am going to share with you my fabulous scone recipe. They are just so delicious and light, and oh, when they're just out of the oven, they are amazing. Get all your ingredients out, ready to use. Step 1, weigh out the flour. Sift the flour, the salt, the bicarbonate of soda and the cream of tartar into a big bowl. So got the cream of tartar, measure in 4.5 teaspoons. I'm going to add the bicarbonate of soda, so that's 2 teaspoons. And then we just want a pinch of fine table salt, and then we are going to start sifting that. You can get lots of nice air into the mixture, which is what we want. Next, it's the butter. So I've got my 75 grams of butter, so I'm going to cut it into nice little cubes so it's easier to rub in. There we go. I'm going to cut it all the way down, and then like that, and they'll have lots of little squares. The butter needs to come straight out of the fridge, so it's nice and cold. Perfect. Get back our flour and add the butter. See, just break the butter up into all those little cubes, and then we can start rubbing it in and getting that nice crumbly mixture. So you're rubbing the butter between your thumb and your fingers and lifting it up so we have lots of air coming into it. So this process takes a little time. Get the flour at the bottom up to the top of the bowl, lifting it up. Starting to feel a bit like sand, so the flour is sort of getting a bit heavier as it gets little bits of butter in it. There we are. So I'm now going to divide my mixture into 2 so I can make fruit scones with half the mixture and cheese scones with the other half of the mixture. So I want 304 grams. Perfect. So weighing out sultanas. So they go in there, and I'm just going to stir them around. There we are. Add the milk, and I'm using a silicone spatula, so I find it's really good. And at this point, we don't want to work the mixture more than we have to. So we're going to stir and gently, lightly mix it all together. So it starts to come together as a dough, as you can see, getting the bits at the bottom there. And then gathering that up with our hands. So it's a nice dough. Right, that's flouring the surface that we're going to be working on. Turning the dough out onto the flour. Just kneading it into a nice dough. Put flour on your rolling pin and don't be tempted to overwork the dough and make it perfect. This is fine as it is. And then we want to very lightly roll it out. We're actually not going to roll it very much at all. I've got my cutter here, and that's just over 3 centimetres, and that's the height we want the dough to be. So it's pretty much the same height as my cutter. So then the next thing we want to get ready is our baking tray, and I've got some silicone coated baking paper here so that the scones won't stick. So I'm just going to put that to one side. Then I've got my cutter and a bowl of flour. So I'm going to dip my cutter into the bowl of flour, and this will help the cutter not to stick to our lovely dough. So you want to try and press straight down on the dough so your scones will rise straight up. If you go in slightly at an angle, your scones will look a bit like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but they will still taste amazing. Oh, and there we are. So we're going to push straight down, a little twist. Oh, 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 look at that. Carefully lift him up and pop him on the tray. Straight down into our dough. There we are. We can just use a knife just to pop him on the tray. Straight down. Look at that. Place on your, very gently on your baking tray. Give the cutter a dunk in the flour again, and then I'm going to get one nice scone out of that. Little twist. Oh, look, that looks beautiful. Oh, so these are my scones, and the last thing I need to do is put the egg wash on the top. So you get an egg, tap it on the side there, and crack it into a cup or got a jam jar here, and then just take a fork and you want to just whisk it. Just like that. And then this is going to make the tops of our scones beautifully golden. So then we dip in and we brush it onto the tops of our scones. And there we are, they are ready for the oven. And so look at these beauties, don't they look fabulous? So just going to put them onto the wire rack to cool. Oh,